You did mention Speaker McCarthy, not by name, earlier that he left Congress. I am curious, how confident are you in the new Speaker, Speaker Mike Johnson's leadership? The impeachment vote failed, the standalone Israel vote failed. What do you make of his leadership?
He doesn't use the carrot or the stick, ma'am. And that's what I like about the Republican Party or the Republican caucus. We're not going to vote lockstep. I look up there several times and there's 8 or 9 red dots on the board, and I happen to be one of them. And I don't, we're independent thinkers. I've seen multiple times there'd be key votes and there'd be a Democrat holdout, and you'd see the speaker and Speaker Pelosi and Steny Hoyer and the other Democrats convalescing around that poor person. And they're using the stick. And they're telling them, you want that bridge project, you want this, you want to stay on this committee, or they're saying, hey, if you'll do this, we'll reward you or whatever, and we need you, we'll protect you, and all this stuff. And so you don't see Mike Johnson out there twisting arms. I think he's a very decent person. He did not create this problem, ma'am. Our former speaker had been there, 20-something years or whatever. Mike's been there 8 or 9 or 10, I guess. But he didn't create this problem. He's inherited it. He has a one-person majority. You got very liberal folks. You got very conservative folks like myself, and you got the moderates in the middle that kind of, like amoebas, they just kind of go one way or the other, which way their heart tells them. So he has a very, very tough job, probably the toughest speaker position in the history of this country, with a one-person majority. And and he's taken the spears and arrows. I've never seen attacks on a guy's family. He's adopted a kid or taken a kid in, and people were critical of that, and they've gone and interviewed his old girlfriends and stuff. I mean, this guy, he's a straight arrow. I tweeted when he first got elected, I said, or we elected him speaker, I said, he loves America, he loves his wife, and he loves Jesus. I said, this guy scares me, or something like that. I was being sarcastic, of course, because, he's being attacked, but this guy's clean, and he works very hard, and he's conscientious of it. He's in a very tough position. So I'm not a golfer, but I give him a couple of mulligans, because he's, but I think the trouble the conservative movement has, as it's always had, they elect Ronald Reagan and then they stop. They elect Donald Trump and then they stop. You don't realize you've got Congress, you've got Senate, you've got school board races, you've got city councils, you've got county commissions, mayors, things like that. And they always forget. And the liberals don't. They get it. They're working around the clock. They're, here in Knoxville, Tennessee, we have an openly Marxist member of city council. Right? In Knoxville, Tennessee, man, my hometown. And, we're a university town. We're going to get a lot of liberals. I get that. But they're never sleeping. And I'm afraid the conservatives do, and they get their feelings hurt, just like this last presidential election. 20 million so-called conservatives decided to stay home or listen to The View as their political consultant. And that's how we got Joe Biden in the White House. And they say, well, they stole the election. I say, brother, we got to put enough points on the board where they can't steal it. We got to get people to the polls. And I just don't think the conservatives understand that.